Okay. Hello, Davey Calabrese. How do you say the last name Calabrese? Calabrese? How you say it in English? I don't even know, actually.
Calabrese.
Calabrese. Okay. Hello, Davey Calabrese. You're one of your three brothers of Calabrese, the band. So can you please introduce yourself a little bit and tell us what you're making for music and where you maybe come from, and how you came to make music with your brothers.
Hey there, I'm Davey Calabrese from the band Calabrese. I play drums and do a lot of other things behind the scenes. And, well, it all started, it all started with Jimmy and Bobby. Jimmy and Bobby both had different bands. Jimmy was primarily metal bands. Bobby was primarily pop punk, and like the Ramones and stuff like that. So one day they're like, "Hey, we should like do something together where we play music where we actually listen to," which at the time the thought was, "Oh, let's do something like the Misfits." No one's doing anything like that. Only the Misfits had. At that point, when we started, not a lot of people were doing the Misfits thing or the horror punk thing or the horror rock thing.
Mm-hmm. When did you start? Sorry, I was not really prepared. When was the time you started the band?
A couple years ago. No, early 2000.
Okay.
When we started. Yeah, and so we're like, all right, yeah, let's do something like the Misfits, Danzig, Ramones. What else did we throw in there? Half the Negative and Rob Zombie.
Cool mix.
That was our pot.
Yeah.
To work with, and they're like, hey, oh man, we need a drummer. So they asked me to play, and I've never played before, and my what's it called? My reason why I wanted to do it, because for anything it takes a lot of time to learn something and be good at it. Mm-hmm. My carrot was chicks, man.
Oh man, you're such a prototypical rock band. I mean, this is really the reason why you start a rock band. And if everyone is honest with themselves, it's kind of, the usually how you say pickle. The freckle-faced guy wants to get to the cool girls, not just the jocks and stuff. And so it's I found your band, and it's so you're the perfect band. you encapsulate everything, and now you kind of restating this stereotype, but it's just the truth, isn't it?
Thank you. Yeah. Nowadays, past that, since I'm the best drummer in the world, it's so much more. It makes people happy, and and then much deeper things like being there for people when in their time of need, when they're like very sad, depressed, and stuff like that. So we can lift them up with our music, not even being there, which is great.
Yeah.
Just the power of music, man. Just the power of the music.
Yeah, and this is, I'm not really sure if you tell me the whole truth here, but it's fine. I take it, because it's like, man, starting with the drums with no prior knowledge. Did you learn any other instrument before that? Because I have to admit I didn't listen particularly to the drums. I really like "He Who Flees the Light." This was the song where I found you, and it was like, wow, 3 people and such an energy. You capture this this live energy you certainly have so well into the song. It's kind of like you're leaping off the pages. You would say if it was a writing or something. It's great how you got this energy power into it. It's so so fun to listen to it. And what you just said is that you also help people. Now, for me, it's a kind of a very funny thing. Your songs are kind of all, about zombies and graves and death and everything, but it's so positive. Also, you know what I mean? It's kind of it's so weird. It's like it's the opposite. You kind of does the opposite. You get what I mean? It's not that you're getting, oh, we're all sad and we are sitting on gravestones and, we're talking about when we're going to kill ourselves. It's just the opposite. You get like, yeah, we're talking about death, but it's so cool and it's fun.
Yeah. Bobby likes to describe it as hard sad, where it's like fist pumping sadness. There you go. Thank you.
It's a lot of, this is, I rarely, and I listen to a lot of music, so I rarely had heard such energy coming from just your headphones. It's crazy. It's man, I guess you will be like you leave a train wreck or something. You derail every show. I'm pretty sure this is. But this is also, I guess, from what you told me. The Misfits were kind of known for this, to make really hard shows. So, and I guess you kind of got this from them. Typo Negative is more a little bit calmer, as far as I know. Pete Steele is gone from us, unfortunately. But it was more like, what was it here? Anyway, it was calmer in a way. You have more energy. You have really this punk rock and roll. Yeah, hard to describe, and a lot of, and you seem to live it as well, I see your background, and there is Elvis, and there is the Swamp Monster, and the Wolfman, and Dracula, and skeletons, and Bart Simpson. So everything is there. It's crazy. Can I ask? You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. Are you really brothers? Because this was a Ramones thing, So are you really brothers? You don't have to answer if you don't want to
yes.
Shatter the illusion.
Oh, yes, we're real brothers, yes.
Okay, and how did you manage to beef up on drums so fast? Because drums is not the easiest instrument. So had you prior knowledge of music?
Well, like in school, they would teach you music. In like music class, they would teach you how to like shake a thing or play a not a flute, but a recorder. But for me, I guess it's all right. Searching back in the brain balls. Hitting things. Even before I learned how to do the drums, Bobby had a drum set and older brother, and so I'm like, oh, that's cool. And they're the ones who taught me how to play the drums. So they taught me the basic stuff. Boom, bop, boom, bop.
Okay. 4 to the floor. Yes.
Yep. And then, just kind of like, listening to the most basic things you could listen to, like Ramones, and you just figuring it out, and then just started evolving. So really no prior knowledge of drumming, but chicks, man. Figure it out.
Perfect. Yeah. What can I say against chicks? Cool. So yeah, when this is quite remarkable, I have to say. You really, I guess, now you are real brothers and stuff. So there is a lot of music in the family. It seems like so you got some of this as well, in your genes, and you all seem to also love the same, horror stuff and horror punk scenario things. So yeah, it seemed like. You should have. I'm just amazed, how I missed you for that long because Maybe we could talk a little bit about this, because you said in the beginning that back when you started, there wasn't such a big, let's say, demand for Misfits kind of music, and you just stuck to your guns, I take it, and then you were kind of a leader once this turned around, because there's always ups and downs, just if you really like what you're doing and you're really behind it like you are, I mean, this is incredible how your music is kind of so, I don't know, maybe, sorry, I'm like a fanboy here, but I am. So it's so energetic. I don't know how you got it. Did you record this live, by the way?
Please live?
Mm-hmm. No, did you record this live? He Who Flees the Light. Did you do this recording live in the studio, or did you do single tracks?
Single tracks, but what do we do? All right, so there's like Bobby with the guitar. He does the scratch tracks, and then I think Jimmy. Yeah, I think the bass was recorded at the same time as the drums for like the actual what you hear.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're all kind of recorded separately, but to polish them.
Okay, no, perfect, because this is anyway. Sorry, I'm sounding like a broken record because it's so much energy in it. It's incredible how you preserve. Yeah. So anyway, so you said when you started, there wasn't such a big, let's say, market for Misfits kind of stuff, and you. So I guess you started really with playing smaller venues and then just stuck to your guns, and sooner or later people noticed that there is a band, this is strange stuff, but it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Simple.
Kind of like a game, like who can last the longest? Well, there's who can last the longest. That's like what's the steps? All right. Number 1, you have to look cool. Number 2, you have to have awesome music. And number 3,
this helps.
How long can you last?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can have the first 2, but then you don't last. So if the staying power.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. We're still here. You're talking to me, and you found us with Flee the Light, which is amazing. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a great song. It's a great song, really. I just put it in my playlist again. I had it in my playlist before, but yeah, do it. Yeah, anyway, I'm sorry, I'm swooning all over you. I know you want rather a girl over here, but I'm just a guy.
No, thank you. Compliment's a compliment.
That's true. No, and it's a well-deserved compliment. It's I'm amazed. Anyway, let's stop my amazement and talk about more. Maybe let's take it a little bit to the not so nice stuff. So at the moment, we're in this pandemic, as you know, and I know America is hit quite hard as well, and Germany has now a second lockdown at the moment. I'm in Germany. So I guess this is puts a halt to all of your live affairs as well. Or do you do online concerts or things like this?
Well, let's see here. We did have a tour being booked. And I was like, talking to our booking agent, I'm like, you gotta finish these tour dates. We had like another band with us. And eventually it got to a point where he was like, yeah, it's not quite the zombie apocalypse, but it kind of is. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So we were like talking on the phone. And that was like right, because like it was happening, but it wasn't really happening at this time, months and months ago. And then I'm like, crap. I'm like, all right, we'll do it we'll maybe do it next year, and or just a tour in general next year. And then everything really did hit the fan. And then not only did our tour got canceled, everybody's tours got canceled. I'm like, okay. All right, it's not just us.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel too bad. but feel bad. It's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? Like we're all in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as like a live concert, live concert thing, I would consider doing that only if this thing lasts longer than anyone wants.
Mm-hmm.
Live stream concerts are cool, sure. Friends are doing it, but I don't know. Like, it's for me when it comes to like a live stream. I like the back and the forth. You know, like I do quite a bit of live streams on Instagram. And I love the when people say something and I say something back and I blah 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 blah. You can hear the records. Just go after this. Just put the stream on. You know what I mean?
So you mean I could have kind of cut everything together and I don't need to talk with you, basically. You know, I could kind of make my own iteration of you with all the stuff I can find out about the recordings.
Yes and no. As of lately, as of lately, Instagram is like. Have you ever done Instagram Live?
No, I have not. I'm not that big of a star yet. maybe once I was asked for an interview to do this, but I honestly I'm not the most technical advanced person. Don't tell my bosses because I'm a technical support agent. So so maybe I will do this in the future, but I guess you need to use your phone, and I'm still kind of old-fashioned. I like to use a computer, you know, a computer, a standing machine under the desktop thing, you know. So I'm not really in this new world yet. Maybe if this stuff lasts longer, as you said, I might have to get more familiar with it.
Hey, you got this far. but so with Instagram Live, when it started popping off, they would go, okay, just share it into your story, which is a thing that deletes itself after 24 hours. And then so like a little bit of a replay. But nowadays, because they want people to do more content, stay on their platform, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, they go, all right, you want to share this to your main feed, or you want to delete it, or maybe download it. And so as of late, I just I don't download it. No, I just delete it. So I've been telling people that, you know, no replay, just come hang out, no pressure. Because I like to call people, because there's like a feature on there and you could submit, and I call people, I say hi, they say hi, it's a whole thing. And
so you call them into the chat, basically. You call them into the chat, and then they say hi, and then they drop off again, or something like this.
Like imagine like what we're doing, but live in front of everybody else, 100,000 people.
Wow.
So there's like me and then the person in their house, and I just wave and we talk for a second, and there you go, create a connection. There you go. But anyways, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is evolve or die.
That's absolutely, you know, you're right. So, you know, I need to get where I will. But, you know, my good thing is I have a little band as well, you know, and I'm the oldest person in the band. So everyone is younger. And, you know, the youngest are 19, so they know how to use Instagram and all this stuff. So I kind of hand it over to them. You know, let the kids do it. I do the other stuff. So, you know, that's fine. We can, I guess you do the same in your band. You know, you are for certain things of, I don't know, management and stuff, or talking with people like me, and the others are doing promotion, whatever, you know. So it's kind of how I deal with it. So I don't have to, because the problem I see, I mean, honestly, is if you are too wide stretched everywhere, you know, when you know everything a little bit, but nothing really. You understand what I mean? Jack of all trades, master of none. I think it's the American thing to say here. And I try to focus. I'm most active on Twitter. That's my kind of thing. It's easy, which I understand, and the rest our kids doing basically.
Yeah, as long as you're on the internet. Sometimes. Wait. Oh, here we go. Does your band have a music video?
Not yet.
Oh.
I know. But it's tough. It's tough. We just reformed. So we are writing new stuff, and there will be. I like to act. I have acted in a few movies and stuff. This is absolutely my thing, But it needs to fit. I mean, I did it in the past. I was very impatient. And I put out things that were not right, I cut videos myself, and they were not that well done, and they looked cheap and bad. You know yourself how important it is to have a certain aesthetic and a certain look that people kind of know what's going on. I mean, when I look at your pictures. I see this is a rock band. This is, really, this is the tough guys and whatever, I know, of course, it's a little bit an act. You're not always like this and stuff, it's a, oh, yeah, okay, you're always, you know what I'm talking about. So it's fine, but like you said before, you need good music, you need good looks, and we don't have the looks yet. The good thing is there's two good-looking females in my band, so I can hide behind them. The guys will look at them, but so we're working on it. I will let you know once the video is out.
To the point of that is, I like to say that if you're in a band and you don't have a music video, do you even exist?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Mic drop.
Yep. No, but it's conversation is over. We're done. No. Yeah. And I saw, for I think for He Who Flees the Light, you have a video, right? And
yeah.
If I remember correct, I think I saw it only once or twice. I listened to it mostly on Spotify. Please don't take it wrong. But it doesn't look like the biggest production value went into this video, if I remember correctly. But of course, you have a video and you show, yourself playing and stuff. So that's absolutely cool. And it does its job. But I personally, and don't take this the wrong way, I like when you also tell a story, when you not just have a performance video, where you just play your instrument and lip sync and whatever, but that you really tell a story and have something to look at, a female wandering through the woods and things, and especially with your images you conjure up, there is a lot of stuff you could do with that. So, but on the other hand, I also know it kind of has this raw aesthetic as well, the way you did it. So it's not, the thing is, music is never right or wrong. It's kind of, it's what you want to do. And anyway, my point is, I cannot say it is a wrong video. It's just, I would have done it differently, but it serves its purpose. So. Sorry, I'm babbling too much.
No worries. Yes. Long story short, what's it called? To each their own. And for the here. This is a visual podcast. Boom.
Yeah.
Flee the Light, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Our hit album. So this. Oh, this is fun. Ghost Money.
Cool.
So, Flee the Light, the album, actually has 11 songs, and it has 11 music videos.
Okay.
So, what's fun about that is if you watch the music videos in a whole or like in different parts or you go through different ways, I like to think of it as a choose your own adventure type thing because they kind of all loosely tie together into a story, and imagination, stuff like that. But yeah, to your point, yes, a raw aesthetic. It was just one cameraman and the three of us in a coffin, which, let's see. Where is it? There's Goat Man.
Oh, yeah. Where's the coffin?
So, coffin, some fog, boom.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, raw aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. It has the aesthetic of an old Hammer movie, you know, kind of like the old kind of stuff. And this is what you want to encapsulate. So, I mean, you did it right. You did it absolutely right. And I'm completely agree with you. You need to have videos. And so you did everything correctly. It's just, we're not there yet. So let's put it this way.
All right. After this, since you have a spare $500, just go get yourself a leather jacket. And looks like you're wearing all black, so that's cool. That's a good start.
That's actually Bordeaux. Yeah, but yeah, no, I will. I really like your look. You know, the look is perfect. It's like I said, it's you're such a prototypical band, and this I don't mean in disrespectful. It's kind of like everyone sees your picture and knows exactly what's going on. There is no, kind of, like with emo boys or something, we want to be also, very delicate and stuff and, talk about love. And I mean, you're just like, bam, you're just out there and doing it. It's, anyway, sorry, I'm fanboying again.
That's great. Just keep talking. I love it.
No. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I got your point. Videos are very important, and after this talk, I'm gonna go through all the videos because I want to see the story. So yeah, you got me there, and also the people who listen there, just do the same. And then you can talk about your story and if you got it or not. But this is also a good point. You don't need to get the story. It's just like, I want some visual, just a band playing, okay. But then I would rather see them live on stage, So I always like a little bit more food for thought, So something more. So who's writing? I guess your brothers are writing the songs more as you are kind of came in later or so, and they might be, as I can guess, quite easily inspired by a lot of horror movies and novels and stuff. So, but or how are you creating music together now?
Riffs. Just got to start with a good riff. And there's some tasty riffs Bobby's coming up with, and it's just simmering at the moment. There is some talks of a possible EP. For the last couple of years, Bobby was like, let's do an EP, and I'm like, I don't know, like, no one really talks about EPs. But nowadays, what we're dealing with, it's like, all right, we could either put out an album 1 year from now, or get an EP going sooner for new music videos. So that's the idea we're playing with. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, inspired by horror movies and the novels and the comic books and mm-hmm. general things that look cool, like a goat head.
So, I mean, just maybe go a little bit deeper here. So, how are you holding up? I'm. If you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. But I guess financially, I mean, you're living from music already, or are you having other jobs as well? And so this might be a reason for an EP, something earlier, that you kind of show your flag that you're still there, because from my personal perspective, this will take at least another year until we are over it, you know. Even if there's a vaccine, it needs to be distributed, it needs to be, you know, injected and stuff, and it needs to be really, you know, maybe twice and whatever. So it will take a while until things are back to normal. So how you're holding up? That's basically my question.
Well, for your answer, evolve or die. Doing pretty good, actually. Just dropped a. I'm wearing it. Just dropped a brand new pin a couple days ago. That sold out, and I clocked it because I looked at it. At 5 hours and 30 minutes, the whole stock sold out.
How much was it? How many pins? How many
pins? 100. So nice limited run.
300?
100.
100. Okay.
100,000. Just kidding. No, just 100. So that sold out pretty good. And then, just T-shirts and stuff like that. Just came out with, what I'm wearing.
Okay.
We made 250 of that, and there's about 6 of the batch left. So we're doing pretty good there. And then, of course, streaming is always great. Where you found it. Just streaming every day, and there you go. And then I can continue to eat my ramen.
Very good. So you're still kind of so you're already living from music, right?
Still floating, baby. Still floating.
Still floating. Okay, good. Okay, yeah. So I had Instagram. So any advice maybe for because okay, maybe I phrase it differently. The thing is, what I see in you is that you stuck to your guns and you got to your place because you were doing what you love. And this is what I would say to everyone else out there as well, so that you don't run after a trend and, you know, this is in now, because you will always be too late. Just do what you love and what you feel, and people will also feel, you know, they're like, sorry, fanboying again. That people will perceive it if you are real, if you mean it, what you say. If you just fake it and I'm going to play this because it's cool and whatever. But if you're really living it, that's something completely different. And then people will kind of get it, even if it's a little bit theatrical or something. Like an example is like. Rammstein, for example, they don't live what they are saying. It's a big theater show, but you can kind of they play it well. You see, and it's really something from them. And so I see it with you also, that you encapsulate this. And so maybe you have any advice for the inspiring new bands like mine? No. So what kind of which pitfalls maybe to avoid or something?
Well, let's see. Well, number one, all right, let's dig deep into the brain ball. All right. Chicks and money don't come right away.
What? Now you tell me. Oh, shoot. Okay.
You also have to be aware if your music is good enough to keep going. You know what I mean? Like,
but how do you gauge this? How do you decipher if it's good enough? I mean, it's
by putting it out and letting people tell you if it sucks or not.
Okay. But yeah, this can be quite. You need in German we say you need a big height for that to put it out, because you get a lot of a lot of beating. A lot of people will beat you up verbally.
For instance, all right, let's just say you spent like 3 weeks in the studio. You're in the studio. You're loving these songs. You love them. All right, here you go. Let's dig even deeper. All right. Number one, you have to create the songs. That takes a bunch of time. Then you have to get to them, or you have to get to a point with the song where you love it, and that it's just like, if I don't record this, it's a disservice to the world because it's so fucking awesome. You have to get to that point or somewhere around that area. Okay. You just have to love it. All right. Then you record it. Then you have to give it some really cool artwork, because artwork is another one of those things.
Yes, that's true.
Because everyone does judge the book by the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And once that door is open and someone actually listens to it, and if it's good, they'll stick around. So did I say it right? Yeah, we have to work hard at it. You have to love what you're doing. Then the hardest part is then to put it out and accept the criticism and keep going or not. But you have to keep going, because the first couple criticisms, you know, it could be from your mom. She's like, I love it. Or your best friend, I love it. But maybe a couple albums in, then you'll know.
Yeah. I know this quite well myself, you know, but I rather don't ask my friends, because, you know, there's always, oh, you know, it's not too bad. It's that, you know, you get not a real answer, you know. So it's, if you put it out there, you get an honest answer, but it might be really mean. So I found it very interesting that you said you have to love it, because, you know, and you're right. I just thought about it, you know, that like big bands like AC/DC, who play their same songs over decades, kind of will get really bored out of them. But if they really love it, if they really feel it, they might not, I don't know. Then you don't get bored of it, you know, when you still get goosebumps when you play them and you hear what, yeah, you know, no, it's actually a really good advice, because then you should. And the good thing is also, if you love it, somebody else might love it as well, you know, because then it means there is your, in German we say heart blood in it, you know, there is really you poured the blood of your heart into this thing, and you make yourself a little bit vulnerable, you know, to open up to the world. I guess you can hide a little bit behind the rock star, you know, how you say. You know, your Ramones aesthetic, you know, that you kind of shielded a little bit by this, you know, you can have like a cocky attitude, but still, you know, you love what you're doing, and just because you play it cool doesn't mean you love it, you don't love it, you know. So yeah, I really would have liked to see you perform live. Maybe, you know, have you ever toured to Europe before?
Yes.
Ah, cool. Any big festivals here in Europe?
Let's see here. Off the top of my brain balls, it's called Wave Got.
Yeah, Leipzig, Wave Gothic Treffen. That's the biggest Gothic thing in the whole wide world, you know. So I'm pretty proud, and it's quite, you know, right next to where I live. I mean, not where I live directly, but. Yeah, man, this is my big dream, to play there once as well. You know, it's the whole city is black, and a lot of people, you don't know where to look. So if for the listeners who are out, just check WGT, Wave Gothic Treffen, Gothic Treffen. Treffen is meeting in German. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yes.
By the way, while we are there, so do you have any cool stories from you know, from touring and stuff? Because sometimes funny things happen there. Or other question, if you don't have a funny story, have you ever been a little bit starstruck? Something, you know, that you shared the stage with some of your heroes, and you're like, now I'm going to play with. After or before whoever, any nice stories there?
Let's see here. Brain balls. Thinking. Well, it's always a trip when yeah. We played with the Misfits a couple times. That was fun.
Cool.
Seeing Jerry up there, it's like, oh my God. Oh, check this out. Let's see. Where are you? Damn it. I have a Jerry figure, Super 7. That was fun. Oh, and seeing Doyle too is fun. But yeah, it's all kind of a blur as far as like tour stories. It's just kind of like when it comes to touring, it's just like you wake up, get to the next place, load in, load out, blah 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 blah. Make sure you play well, say hello to everybody, back forth. So it's all kind of a blur. The overall thing is really one of my favorite things about touring is meeting the fans. That's always fun. And hearing what they have to say and just taking a photo. And I don't know. I love happiness. So it's fun. I know how it feels when you're like, oh, I want to take a picture or say hello to somebody that you admire. And so I try and be as
accessible as possible.
Accessible after the shows and stuff like that. So yeah, that's fun. So it's like, all right, we have to play a really great show, but that's the reason why everyone came, and then we can party afterwards.
So you're taking it quite professional. So you kind of, I guess, no alcohol before the stage show, or and just after, or how do you? Or are you a little bit more liberal? You know, I'm a German, so you know, alcohol is here quite normal. You get a couple of beers before.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's just maybe a little bit. Maybe one beer. Maybe. That's just a maybe if, and that's if they're providing it. Yeah. And then you can let a little loose. And it really depends on who's driving, or, you know. There you go.
Okay, so you're driving yourself as well.
Gotta save money somehow. Man, those buses cost a lot of money, and they have to get a bus driver.
Get it. No, it's fine. And it sounded like you do the hard touring, I would call it, like that you play show after show after show, like every night one show, every night a different city or something. So you didn't get any breaks or something.
There's a tiny little break in between. Man, dude, you guys have it good in Europe. America's huge. You have to drive 1 million miles.
That's true.
But like Europe, it's just like, oh yeah, you want to go to Italy? It's right over here.
One of my American friends visited me once, and he crossed all the states of United States, you know, with a car, and he wanted to do the same in Europe. And it was one day we ran through 5 different countries, you know, Luxembourg, France, Netherlands, Italy. Anyway, yeah, we are quite close. You know, everything is densely populated, and I guess, you know, there's the East Coast and the West Coast for you. There's some dense populated cities, you know, New York or so. But, yeah, in the middle, there's mostly not much going on. Where are you situated in? You told me before, but I forgot.
Arizona.
Arizona. Okay, Arizona. It's more like desert-y, right?
Correct.
Okay, so hot and cold, I guess, in the night.
Yeah, actually, that's funny. That's how it is right now. It's like kind of warmish during the day, and then it gets a little nipply at night.
Nipply. Okay, it's a good term. Okay, so yeah, you did hard touring, as I would say it. So, and there's a blur. So let's leave it by a blur. I was thinking, as you mentioned, how you know, it starts with a riff, a good song. Completely understand that. But is there like every one of you has to love a song, right? So there is kind of no real democratic decision. You know, these two guys want it and the one not. Everyone has to love it, right? Do I understand this right? Or how does it work with your to choose? You know, because when you make a new album or an EP, you might have more tracks than you need. And what do you choose when to put on?
Just kind of like how does it go? Yeah, just kind of like, so a song is made up of a bunch of little parts all put together and then copy paste. So so it's like, all right, I don't like that lyric, so let's change that, one guy might say, or oh, that's a little too long over there, let's chop that up. Kind of like stuff like that. And that's more like stuff that happens during the studio, because you get because so the studio we go to right now, it's called Flying Blanket Recording Studios, and with our buddy, aka super producer Bob Hogue, and we went with him like Dayglow Necros, More Skirmish Touch, Lust for Sacrilege, and then Fleet of Light. So 4 albums now, and for the first one, Dayglow Necros, we were playing like these long bridges and stuff like that, and like long intros, and he was like, hey, we're gonna cut that, that's too long, you need to get right to it. No, we're gonna cut that, and so he was donned Bob the Butcher, because he was just cutting it, and but you know, worked in the end. Oh, he also was like, hey, for this bridge, sing some lyrics. You're gonna need to put some lyrics on here. So it mainly happens in the studio. So we get to a point with the 3 of us where we're like, okay, this is a good rock song, doing a rock thing, and then we bring it to the studio, and then it blossoms into something even greater than we can ever imagine. Like bells and whistles, synths, and harmonies, and
So the synths are added in the studio then?
Yes.
Okay, so is anyone playing them from you, or is it like a studio person who provides them, or how do they happen?
Bob Hogue, so our producer, he's a musician as well. So not only is he gifted in the art of producing, he could play drums and the also he does all sorts of things, and he really excels in synths and keyboards and all that jazz. And yeah, there you go.
Okay, so he does it. Okay, that's cool, because they're really, because you're a 3-piece band, so so live you have somebody playing them, or you use a recording for playing this the things you don't usually play live. Well, how do you do it? If you want to talk about it, you don't need to talk about it if you don't want to.
As of right now, it's just the rock elements. So it's kind of like, you heard it before, your brain kind of fills in the spots.
That's a good point, yeah.
But hopefully, it would be cool and ideal if in the future we had like backing tracks and it would be here. But as of right now, it's the rock, just like the power of the rock, and there you go.
No, that's actually a good point. I just was the other day talking with a friend about it, that I think the best songs are kind of made when you leave space for the listener's brain to fill in things, because this happens to me, and I guess it happens to all musical people, that if you play something on your acoustic guitar and just sing it, and I can hear sometimes like an orchestra in the background. I mean, I can hear it in my head. You see what I mean? Because I'm filling in the blanks here, and I think this is kind of the best, the peak, the summit of music you can make. That there is more there than you can when it's really there. You understand what I'm talking about? But in your brain puts in things together. To make it more than there is, and if you create such music, then it's perfect. When you don't need much, just to provide a bass line, and then things happen and appear. Okay, so basically we covered things happen. You have your rehearsal thing. And then you go to the studio, and then they kind of get chopped down and it also reminded me, I'm a bass player by trade. So I had a really nice bass line, really, I could show what I can do. And the guy in the studio said, no, doesn't work. It makes the whole song, doesn't work. Just play straight. So I played 3 notes the whole song, but it worked so much better. And this is what I mean, Sometimes you kind of overstuff things which don't need to be there, because the imagination of a person, you take your audience seriously, you give them just hints and little things where they can kind of put their mind on, and then they can fill out other things. That's what I also that's what I like myself, and what I see you encapsulating here as well. And of course, all with your imagery. I love you anyway. It's just me.
So what you're describing there, have you ever seen, it's called Eddie and the Cruisers. It's a movie.
No.
Okay. So in the movie, basically, I'll just get right to the point. All right. Mm-hmm. So there's this guitar player, and he's like, man, I got this riff. Check it out. He's talking to Eddie, and he's like, and then he's like, cool it. And he goes, gotta let it breathe. And then he goes, same riff, just let it breathe. Let it happen. So there you go. Yeah, that's the point. Gotta let it breathe. And we all seen the movie, so we know how it is. Gotta let it breathe, man.
Mm-hmm. No, that's absolutely. So I guess you're quite fortunate to have this. Steve Hoke, was it Steve, or was it, what's his name? Hoke is his last name? Huh?
Bob Hoke.
Bob Hoke. I'm going to write it down. Bob Hoke. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for all the sharing. Is there anything you want to share with your fans? I mean, you have them on Instagram, but you want to share over my channel something, some nice message, or what we can expect. You already alluded to an EP or an album. You're not sure yet. So what's the next steps for Calabrese? And by the way, does the name mean anything?
It's our last name.
Yeah, but I have a last name as well, and it means something. So did you check what it means by any chance?
From where I understand, what is it?
It sounds Italian or Spanish or something.
From what I understand, it means hard-headed. But
well, it's perfect.
Could be wrong.
That's perfect. My last name is just somebody who kind of takes care of things, but that's also not a bad description. But yeah, it's very broad. Anyway, so any last thoughts? Any last words for the audience out there?
All right. Let's see here.
Yes, scene, exactly. Get in character.
Check us out at Calabrese 666, all places. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify. You can just Google it and you'll find it all. But yeah, what else? Buy some merch, calabrese.store.com. All your cult accessories and music product. What else? And I should have said first and foremost, thank you for having me.
Thank you for having time for me. It was my pleasure. For me as a fanboy, I wanted to say something else, but I forget. So you also do TikTok?
Yes.
You really do TikTok, or you're just on TikTok? That's the difference for me, because I'm on TikTok as well, but I'm not doing TikTok.
So, okay, the nuance is, so there's, let's see how'd it go? for the listeners at home, all 100,000, if you don't know what TikTok is. So TikTok used to be called Musical.ly. Now it's TikTok. And it was primarily just a bunch of children lip syncing to things, dancing around. Now, and then Vine got dead. Vine died. Now TikTok is essentially Vine 2.0. So small, funny little videos. There still is the lip syncing and the dancing, but there is, the fun, small little videos, and that's where we shine. Funny, small little videos. It's essentially the same stuff I put on Instagram, Twitter.
And also on Spotify, if you listen to your band on Spotify, there's also little video snippets that's run on there. It's really cool. Yeah, I was like, oh, what's going on here? Yeah, no, okay, yeah. So you seem to ride the social media wave quite well. So that's kudos to you. I'm really happy that I found you, and I hope more people will find you, and I really hope we might meet again in happier circumstances. That the Wave Gothic Treffen is going up again, and then I will definitely come if you play there. That's for sure. And then I will hang out with you, but I guess you're going to toss me away because of all the nice-looking chicks there. And that's fine. I can live with that. I can live with that. I know my place. No, it was really a lot of fun talking with you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I wish you all the best. And, today was a special day in the United States. Let's see how the dices have fallen. We might know in a few weeks, but anyway, we will see. It looks good for. It looks better for the one I was hoping for. So anyway, thank you very much for your time on this special day, and I will contact you maybe in 1 or 2 years, and then we will see each other.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for your time.